lovely and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm reviewing Paper Hearts by Ali Novack. This is a teen contemporary romance. It follows Felicity, who falls in love with a member of the boy band Heartbreakers, and she falls in love with Alec, who is the shy, reserved bassist that we got to meet in the first book, The Heartbreakers, but he's kind of so introverted that he didn't have a ton of personality, so I was excited to meet him again in Paper Hearts. Even though this is the second book in a series, I don't think you really need to read book 1, The Heartbreakers, although it's amazing, and actually I thought the first book was a 5 stars, and this one's like a 4. But they're still awesome. You can go into this, and just because it's from Felicity's perspective, and she doesn't know what happened in book 1, so you can go into this not having read it, but you're going to miss some of the nuances, like referencing songs that were written in book 1, or Stella and Oliver's relationship. Like, they show up, but you're not going to get their whole backstory if you haven't read book 1. But I think it totally still works. I love them both. I think you should both read them, but you could totally just pick this up and it would be fine on its own. So our main character is Felicity. She's the one who we're seeing everything from her perspective. And she is a 17-year-old. She's about to start her senior year of high school, and she's really worried about getting into college, specifically getting into Stanford, because that's where one of her parents went, and she feels this obligation to live up to her mother's expectations, to become a lawyer and to have good grades and be the perfect daughter. And a lot of these expectations are ones that Felicity has placed upon herself because she feels guilty, because her older sister ran away 4 years ago and just completely cut them off. Felicity doesn't know anything about why her sister left, or where she went, or what she's doing, if her sister's even still alive. Like, she's trying to Google her sister and nothing's coming up. And so she feels like she needs to be the devoted daughter who's always home and does everything right and gets good grades. Because her older sister was this partier who was completely irresponsible and drunk every night and crawling in the middle of the night. So Felicity's trying to be the exact opposite. So Felicity has a job. She's working as a waitress at a diner, and she also volunteers for this charity ball. Like, she knows that she needs volunteer experience on her college application. So even though she doesn't really have time to do it, she's going to do it anyway because she needs the college. And it's at this charity ball that she runs into Alec, who at first she doesn't realize this is a famous singer because it's a masquerade ball. He's got this totally awesome wolf mask, which I loved envisioning this masquerade ball. Like, honestly, that was amazing. Right off the bat, super in love with the story. Felicity's also got this butterfly mask, and her dress is pretty adorable. This is totally a sappy book, and I loved it, guys. Not even kidding, I just ate this up. It was cute and adorable, and I love it so much. So she finds out that the cute guy she's been talking to all night is actually a world-famous band member. And he is this shy member of the band that the press doesn't know a whole lot about because he doesn't really talk much. He kind of lets the lead singer and his bandmates do the interviews. So Felicity has been spending the whole night just hanging out with him, and they're just like buds. And they connect, and it's totally romantic, and it's sweet and adorable. And then the press find out that it's Alec, and she ends up in the tabloids. And things get complicated because he's famous and supposedly dating this actress. Yeah. Tons and tons of miscommunications and assumptions and not talking to each other. Pretty much a teen romance. But the whole thing about Felicity's sister really adds another dimension to this. Because Felicity finds a bunch of letters that her sister has been writing her. Like, for 4 years, her sister has been writing her. And Felicity had no idea that her sister still wanted to talk to her, or what's been going on, and that her sister is even alive. So she finds the last letter that was postmarked from San Francisco and decides to go find her sister. And her 2 best friends, Asha and Boomer, tag along with her, as does Alec, who's like, you were totally not doing this on your own. So, road trip, which is awesome. Like, I loved the road trip aspect of it. So they end up in San Francisco, they end up going to Seattle trying to find the sister, and I super loved everything about this trip. And getting to see them in this very relaxed relationship. We get to meet her friends more. Like, Boomer is definitely this man kid. I mean, he's 17, so he's allowed to still be a child, but, like, he's playing Pokemon and, like, games that a 12-year-old would do. But he's also, like, super tall and, like, 6 foot something. And Asha is totally obsessed with the Heartbreakers and keeps, like, a blog about them. And kind of trying to calm Asha down. Like, you're hanging out with a heartbreaker, but you need to like chill and like not go into fangirl mode. Like, just be chill, just be normal, just be human. Um, so I loved Asha like completely fangirling. Like, Felicity also was a fan of the Heartbreakers, and like there's an awkward moment where Alex sees like a poster of him on her wall, and she's like, let's just not talk about that. I love this book. It is so cute and adorable and light and fun, which is exactly what I wanted and needed. It does have very teen moments to it. There's a lot of Felicity trying to figure out who she is and what she wants to do with her life, um, especially like senior year approaching. And there's tons and tons of miscommunication and people keeping secrets, and definitely the whole part of Alec being super uber famous and him trying to go on this road trip, but also trying not to like he wants to be nice to his fans and like greet them and be nice to them when they run into him, but also like he doesn't want to end up mobbed by fans for hours on end while he's just trying to get lunch or something. So the fame thing comes into this also. We do get to see the other members of the band. They show up. Stella also shows up, and I love getting to see the band together and getting to see how Stella fits into that, and also starting to see how Felicity might fit into that. So I really love these books. They're really sweet and adorable. The Heartbreakers is definitely the better of the two, but only like marginally. Like, if we're talking about a 5-star rating versus a 4-star rating, like I totally ate up both of these books. I love how cute and adorable and like these are. Like, seriously. So if that is what you're looking for, I highly recommend these two books. There is my review for Paper Hearts by Ali Novack. Oh, another thing about this book is even though the title is Paper Hearts, I really love the fact that the paper hearts themselves are representative of the sister relationship between Felicity and her older sister, because her older sister is really into origami and used to just make paper hearts, and so Felicity has some of these still hanging around as she remembers her sister. So I love the fact that the paper hearts was not an overly romantic gesture, even though that's kind of what the title would lead you to believe. Like, there's tons and tons of romance in this, and Alec is totally adorable, but I love the fact that the title of the book didn't just refer to the two of these together. Yeah. So I totally love this book. Totally go check it out if you want a super light, fun, cute romance. Yeah. So peace out. I love you guys and keep reading. Bye.